Hi everybody, it's me Brandy with Be Vintage Design and Decor, and today I'm going to do a different type of video that I've been promising to do for a while now, which is a backyard tour of all the work we've had done over this past summer. Here are some before pictures of our yard and what it looked like. When we moved into this house 2 years ago, there was no fence, no pool. It was just a big open backyard. We installed the fence in the pool last year and quickly realized that this year a lot of work needed to be done. Our yard was a mud pit. This is what it looked like probably 95% of the time. There was always standing water in the backyard. It stunk really bad, and every time it would start to dry out, it would just rain again. That's how Ohio is, especially in the spring. Our dogs were always covered in mud when they came in from outside, and you couldn't even walk to the shed without wearing some type of muck boot. So even up here towards the front part of the yard where the grass is, it was still muddy. You still sunk in. And these are actually pictures of when we had pumps put in so that we could get the yard dry enough to have work start in our backyard. We had to have electrical run to our pool, and they wouldn't even do it until we dried out our yard. And we actually had a deck put in shortly after we had the electrical run to the pool. So here's the beginnings of the deck. And then there's the finished deck. It made such a huge difference to be able to have that deck for the pool in the summer. Here's where they started actually excavating the backyard and leveling it out. Before we could have the dry creek bed put in, we actually had to level the yard. It was very rocky, very filled with tree roots, so they actually had to use heavy equipment to dig out the dry creek bed. This is a picture of when they leveled out the back part. And then there's the beginnings of the dry creek bed. I actually laid out how I wanted the dry creek bed to flow. Certainly, if somebody put a dry creek bed in their backyard, similar to ours, they didn't need to do it end to end like we did. We actually deliberately did it that big so we could tie two drains together to run out to the storm sewer line. And we made it kind of curve a lot so that it looked more organic. And then here's the end where the other drain is over by the pool. And then the beginning is back there on the left-hand side behind all those trees. Here's where they started to dig it out. And what I loved is my landscaper made us a very integral part of not only the design, but actually doing some of the work ourselves too. The landscaping around the bends I actually did. I actually put a lot of the rocks where I wanted them and how I wanted them to look. And I really appreciated the fact that they let me be so hands-on with it. And after our dry creek bed was installed, we actually began work on the patio. We had a different company come and do the patio in our backyard. We had a paver patio installed that ran along our house. Here's a little pathway that actually our landscaper built with some leftover wood we had so that we could walk across the dry creek bed. Here is one of the end points over by the trampoline. And then here's the other end point over by the pool. I actually ended up building this up a little bit more. It right there, it just looked too wimpy, and I didn't really want to have to mow behind that. So you'll see in the end video where I built it up a little bit more. Kind of blocked it off too. Here's where we got our first rain. It was just a sprinkle, and it just dried out so quickly in our yard. We were so ecstatic. And this is just some more pictures of the landscaping when I started doing a little bit more work there. Here is a bridge that I ordered off of Amazon. My idea for the bridge was that we could use it to walk over from one side to the other and bring the lawnmower over it. but it does not hold a substantial amount of weight, and the lawnmower does not fit over it. So it's pretty much decorative right now. We have to have another one built that actually works, where somebody of a normal human size can walk over it with a lawnmower. And then here's when our patio pavers were being delivered, and they started doing work on our paver patio. Our patio is 35 feet long by 13 feet wide, and yes, it's massive. It took them forever to do, and they also did a 50-foot walkway from the patio over to the side of the house where the exit of the gate is to the front yard. And our garage door entrance is over there to the man door entrance. Now, I will say when they built the patio, they kind of messed up the grade right over by it. So we actually had to have our landscaper come back out and do a French drain along our patio. And then these are just some more pictures before our grass got put in. And then here is our first torrential downpour, and it was so neat to watch because that dry creek bed just filled up. You can see it filled up like an actual creek, and it was so cool because it actually makes me wish I had a creek in my backyard, the way that it filled up. And this next picture, you'll see the lot next to us is actually vacant, and we had our yard graded so well that the vacant lot was actually draining into our yard and overflowing our creek bed. And here's a picture where the grass is starting to grow in. And here is another one where they laid down the grass. That's where the straw is coming from the grass seed. And then a final picture before I took the video of the grass seed coming in. And as you can tell, it is fall here in Ohio. And this was taken early November. So everything is starting to look a little dormant for winter time. All these plants here I actually planted. Some of them I'm still working on right now. Actually, I'm planting some mums that I had out on my display out front. I planted little boxwoods all along here. Next year I'll put a bed there to cover up that French drain line there. And here's a view of the final dry creek bed with all the stones lining it. We ended up putting the stones all along the dry creek bed this fall because I didn't like how it was kind of just sporadically here and there. So I had them bring out more stone and line the entire bed, which I like it much more. It stands out a lot more. This little area back here I just made into a little sitting area for the kids when they're back here playing, if they want to take a little rest. I planted a few mums in this little old door that I put a flower box on. And as you can tell, they're just tiny little baby mums. And then here I have a little clematis that didn't want to grow. I just love how that little area turned out. It's a nice place just to go back there and sit and watch the kids play or just sit and enjoy nature. And then here's all the new grass that I'm walking on, and I'm not sinking in because it's nice and dry, even though we've had quite a bit of rain lately too. This Japanese maple I just put in this year. The red color is so beautiful that it turns in the fall. And all the plants I put back here, I tried to evenly distribute to where you'd get some fall color and some spring color and some summer blooms. I left room for some annuals to be planted. And then over here is that area that I said I had to build up a little bit more. I made a mound and I put some grass back there, some ornamental grasses that'll get really tall and kind of block that area off. There's some flower beds or vegetable garden beds that I just purchased this fall, and I haven't had a chance obviously to plant them yet, but I'm looking forward to it in the spring. Unfortunately, it's that time of year that we had to close up our pool, and so you will see the nasty rainwater on top of my pool cover. This is just showing you our deck and the view that we have from the top of the deck of the whole yard. As you can see, the development we live in is a newer development. And I think that our yard is a pretty good size. It's definitely not as small as some of the other newer developments in our area, but it's not huge by any means, and it still leaves my kids plenty of room to run around and play in the backyard, for us to entertain. If the kids want to play ball, there's still plenty of room back there as well. I love the way that turned out. It made our yard so useful now. We can actually walk to the back of our yard and not have to worry about wearing boots anymore. It's just wonderful. I highly recommend, if you have any type of water issues in your yard, installing the dry creek bed. It made a world of difference in ours. And there's just an overview. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below.